stories of children who are rescued. But then that is very unique. A child rescued by a dog.
We said the dogs brought this baby. We have never seen this. And the police officer in charge says, if the dogs brought the baby to you, who are we to take the baby away from you? Go keep the baby.
My hands up by silent, I gonna sing a song and then I do like this. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made.
These girls who get pregnancy through rape, through incest, instead of killing or abandoning these children, let's get a process whereby you can deliver and give up your baby responsibly. Give up your baby bearing in mind that life belongs to God and life is sacred.
Are you married? Or you're dating? Do you even have plans of ever getting married? Or you are single by choice? Join me, Helen Kibali, as we dive deep into matters relationships, marriage, and parenting, and how these bonds affect our relationship with God. Let us learn together on ways we can improve.
Rachel, we've had stories of children who are rescued, but then that is very unique. A child rescued by a dog. Would tell us about that?
How did I forget to tell you that? How we changed our mission statement, because we were rescuing, remember I told you we were rescuing the neglected, the abused, and the orphaned. But we came to change our mission statement when it happened 9 years ago. I've been mentioning 9 years ago. Something unique happened. That we were living in a place known as Kanyarere, to be very specific, a place known as Greenbelt. Most people call it Greenbelt, Rukubi area. And a baby was rescued by a group of dogs. It was around 3-4 a.m. and we were sleeping, it was raining. And then once we were asleep, there was a cry. And you saw one of our girls who has cerebral palsy, about 16 years, and we thought it was her. We attended the babies there, and we went back to bed, but there was a constant cry. So we told Mama that somebody is crying. We got out, it was raining, but the dogs were barking. Our gate by then was made of iron sheets, and the dogs were scratching the gate. So on coming out, a group of dogs were fighting. We had a group of 7 dogs and 2 dogs fighting. But amidst the dogs, there was a black polythene bag. And the cry was coming from that bag. And our mom, Mama Margaret, was first to snatch the bag. And the dogs that were guarding the bag scratched her because I think they wanted to guard the bag. On getting the bag, she tore the bag. Akairarua na mikono yake akamwaga chini. On pouring on the ground, there was a baby, a newborn baby. The placenta was there. God, there was blood, there was water. And the dogs that came, they came from a neighbor, a lady I can't fear to mention. May God rest her soul in peace. She rested last year. Her name was Mama Muroki. She was a neighbor. She didn't know us, but her dogs had rescued this baby and pulled the baby all the way from where the baby was abandoned to our gate. Now, this baby mama told me, Rachel, it's like a baby. Put some warm water in the basin. We put the baby to make the baby warm. Mama had not checked even the umbilical cord. I warmed the water, put the baby in so that the temperatures can rise, and the water turned red. You know what Mama said? Rachel, in Kiswahili, allow me to say it, aka ni kajini, because blood and baby, and we have never seen it. But Mama realized the umbilical cord was not tied. So she tore the piece of our house curtain, tied the umbilical cord. We didn't have even baby clothes. We loved the baby, but we named him Moses, because we said he has been drawn out of the waters. The baby bag was the one that comes from Deacon's shop. So somebody had really wanted this baby to die. And then we just wrapped the baby with all the wrappings we had this time. And we waited for morning to come. It was about 4 a.m. Morning comes 6 o'clock. We tell each other, let's go to the police and report. We went to a police post known as Kanyarere Police Post, and we reported. We said, the dogs brought this baby. We have never seen this. And the police officer in charge says, if the dogs brought the baby to you, who are we to take the baby away from you. Go keep the baby. So that is baby Moses. We went with baby Moses at home, and baby Moses was a defining moment for this home. He's the one who made us change our mission statement. We no longer rescue all the others I mentioned. We major with the abandoned. So it was, we started there. I personally didn't know how to bring up such a tiny baby abandoned. And then that's how we learned this infant formula that you have seen us use. So we started the journey of infant formula there. Can I tell you something, Helen? Your destiny is in God's hands. This baby was abandoned, but as we speak right now, this baby got adopted by a pastor who was a pastor in the Kingdom Seekers Fellowship, who was in Nakuru, and currently all of them are living in California.
Wow.
They got citizenship for the US. Wow. And Moses was the first case. Along the way, dogs have become more human than human beings. Right now, we've got 2 more babies that have been rescued by dogs. One was rescued in the Goto forest, and he even has a dog bite in his hand. Because I think the dogs were trying to rescue him, but again, because he was stuck among the thickets, the dogs had to use their teeth. That's how he got a dog bite, and the dogs pulled him out. The third one was abandoned in a plot. Hizi plot ambazo nyumba zinajengwa za lines, and there's a garbage pit near the gate. A mother gives birth, covers the baby amongst the garbage. As dogs were looking for food, they find the baby. He got scratches all over his body. Actually, the neighbors who got the baby brought the baby to us even before we reported to the police. They thought he can only be alive here, so we reported to the police, and the boys are doing well. Unfortunately, ni boy child peke yake. And allow me to talk to the viewers. A lot of emphasis have been put on the girl child. We are girls here with Helen, and we really appreciate that we got this opportunity. But don't take care of the girl child and forget the boy child. If you look at the population of this home, 78% are boys.
Yes, true.
Boy child, we need, actually, and this myth of saying, if you are a single lady and you are a mother to a boy, you cannot get married. It's just a myth. Let's take care of our boy children.
True.
Yeah.
We put emphasis on the boy, both genders actually. Yes.
Yeah, both genders, but again, we don't forget the boy child. Because again, I don't understand why we say men are the pillars, men are the leaders, the seed is in the man. But if this rate of abandonment continues, there will be trouble in the future of our society and even of our nation. Yeah.
True. And then you know the man is the priest of the home.
Imagine.
So if you're not taking good care of our boys, we are doomed.
Yes, we are. We need to take care of them. Yeah.
Do you ever get, have you ever rescued a baby or gotten any child on board, and then their parents, after some time, their parents come to...
It happens. Especially, we need to understand, like, I remember President Uhuru saying that mental health is becoming an issue in this nation.
And it is.
We rescued a baby that was abandoned. Let me give this one example, because we have had many. Parents are found, but we thank the government. Because once the parents are arrested, you have to go through the legal process before your baby is given back to you. Now, we rescued a baby and we stayed with the baby. And one time, we are here and visitors have come. We are showing the visitors the babies. Among the visitors, there's a lady who does not stop crying. And I'm like, why is this lady so emotional? At the time the visitors are leaving, the lady is left behind. And then she tells me, I want to see you. I'm like, why do you want to see me? The lady tells me, I have got something to tell you. She continues to cry. And I tell her, if you've got something to tell me quick. Then she says, I will tell you. I tell her, tell me. Something in me provokes me to ask her, are you the mother to the newest baby I'm having? Are you the one who abandoned? Then the lady tells me, yes. And she breaks down in tears. So, Helen, I'm torn between two. Do I? Because the baby was very young, he needed the mother's milk. But according to the government laws, I'm not supposed to give back the baby. The mother must face the legal system. And then she tells me, please give me back my baby. It's only that the father abandoned me and I had to take care of myself. He abandoned me when I was in labor. He told me he's going for a vehicle to come and take me to the hospital, and he disappeared. Then I took myself to the hospital. I gave birth. Nobody even brought me tea in the hospital. I then lapped my baby in the clothes I had. I went back home. And because I was very bitter with this baby, I took all my 3 babies and abandoned them in a maize plantation. But because 2 were older, they walked back to the home. And they decided, we don't want that one because he's the one who has brought us problems. So we had to go to the district children's officer, the police, and we had to solve her case. We realized she was going into depression. We stayed with the baby for 6 months as the mother was going through counseling, probation officer, and all this kind of a thing. Eventually, we gave up her baby. So some of these abandonment are as a result of failed marriages and people not taking their responsibilities.
And as you mentioned, mental health has become like a crisis, not only in Kenya but worldwide.
Yeah.
And most people don't acknowledge, or maybe they don't know, that they are suffering from mental health. So it's something that we ask the government, and we ask everyone, if you're a sister or a cousin or a friend to anyone who you suspect might be going through mental health issues, kindly support them, get them help as soon as possible.
Sure.
Because these cases normally happen as a result of that. And we thank you so much, Rachel. Viewers, we are going on a short break. We'll be back after this break.
Are you married? Or you're dating? Do you even have plans of ever getting married? Or you are single by choice? Join me, Helen Kibali, on The Bond Show on YouTube channel High Step TV as we dive deep into matters relationships, marriage, and parenting, and how these bonds affect our relationship with God. Let us learn together on ways we can improve and build strong, healthy relationships in the right foundation.
Fly, fly, fly in the castle of my heart, in the castle of my heart, in the castle of my heart. I gotta fly, fly, fly in the castle of my heart, and the king is the resident. He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 He's got the little tiny baby. Yeah, in his hands. He's got the little tiny baby. Yeah, in his hands. He's got the little tiny baby. In his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me. In his hands. He's got you and me. In his hands. He's got you and me. In his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Heavenly Father. Heavenly Father, you are wonderful. You are marvelous. You are excellent. We worship you, Lord, because you're wonderful. And you make us sing a song. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I gonna stand up like a soldier, raise my hands up, I silent. I gonna sing a song and then I do like this. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I gonna stand up like a soldier, raise my hands up, I silent. I gonna sing a song and then I do like this. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I gonna stand up like a soldier, raise my hands up, I silent. I gonna sing a song and then I do like this. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I gonna stand up like a soldier, raise my hands up, I silent. I gonna sing a song and then I do like this. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I gonna stand up like a soldier, raise my hands up, I silent. I gonna sing a song and then I do them all. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I am a fearfully, wonderfully made. I gonna stand up like a soldier, raise my hands up, I surrender. I gonna sing a song and then I say stop. Wow.
Welcome back on the show where we discuss issues of marriage, godly dating, godly courtship, divorce, and of course, parenting. And today, our parent is a beautiful woman. I'm so inspired. I'm touched by how humble she is, how kind she is. She has a big heart because she takes good care of kids that are not biologically hers. Hey, Kizungu. But we thank God for her. Before we went on the break, she was telling us a lot about how they rescue the kids, how they take care of the kids, and we would want to know. I know this question is in your in your heads and in your hearts. Do we get, and before we go how to where they go after here, how are you able to school them? How are you able to give them education, given the circumstances and also the financial struggles? I'm a parent. I know how hard it is to pay fees for your kid, and you have many. How do you manage to pay fees for them?
Like I said, Helen, we thank God for people out there, because we started with taking them to school, and the normal thing of telling the teachers, we will pay. We will pay until the term comes to an end. Another one starts, there's no payment. And in some schools, they were sent away. At one time, they were schooling at home because we didn't have finances to pay for them. Until a change came, we took them to one public school whereby the teachers didn't handle them so well. Especially then, they were the girls that were victims of rape and abuse from the families. And we had teachers abusing them personally. Like one of our girls, she was not able to do homework, and the teacher was telling her, you are a woman even more than myself and you can't do my homework. And so the children started retreating from school. We pulled them out from school, we brought them to home. We started, I have been a teacher by profession, I didn't say. Before I came to pastoring and being full-time here, I have been a teacher by profession. So we started teaching them in the home until God sent us one man of God. I can mention here, Reverend Menai of ACK Kanyarere. Then, he's a man who came and said that we will take 10. Actually, he said, the number I found here in ACK Kanyarere Primary School, we are going to take 10 in and educate them. That's where our journey started. And from there, the kids, we started taking them to schools, and this one became a home for them, like your children. They go to school, they come back home. We've had friends, at times it's very challenging. At times you sign in our visitors book, and the next time I'm saying, hi, we are lacking school fees. Can you kindly assist us with what you can? And I've been sending appeals to people, to corporates, and people have been coming in handy. And then we agreed, we grouped our children in different schools. And we agreed with the teachers or the directors there, don't ever call our children as a name. Let them know any money we bring here, any money anybody pays is money for the Makimei children. So whenever they are in school, the amount we have of money we take, even if I take 10,000, it is not for Helen or Rachel. It is for the Makimei children. So we pay fees for them in clusters as how money comes. We have a girl who educates like the children I told in primary school. Sometimes not all of them. But when we take the money there, it is for the Makimei children. By God's grace, I got a lady friend who started assisting us with her friends in a process of 5 high schoolers, and bit by bit they're absorbing more high schoolers. We've also had people, God giving burdens to them, especially like this week. Next week is back to school. Helen, like how God used to send Lavens to Elijah, God has been sending people to me. Unapata tu mtu ameingia and this person comes and says, hi, I was doing shopping and paying fees for my children, and I felt the burden of paying 5,000 shillings for a child here, and this is one child shopping. Because once they get to class 5 onwards, we take them to boarding schools. And it hasn't been easy. Sometimes the school term ends when we are still in arrears. But we thank our schools where our kids go to school, they're able to hold on with us. So if you allow me, I can make an appeal to Kenyans and to whoever is watching us today. A shilling matters. Even if it is 50 shillings, it will make an impact in the education of one child. And what I tell people, if you bring me cash in the home, what will happen There's no infant formula. You said your money goes to school, I'll first buy infant formula. So whoever comes asking, we normally give them the school account or the children's home buy goods till number. That one goes to school fees.
Okay.
And can I tell you something that has happened here? We've got 7 in the university.
Wow.
And we've got 13 in the high school.
Congratulations.
And the rest I'll join in. Because we believe, I normally tell people, I am who I am because of the education I was given here. If I was never educated, maybe either I would be a person who nobody would love to look at, or I wouldn't have made an impact in this society. So in Makimei, education, we give it the greatest support we can. Child gets educated, it's a person who can stand on their own. If you get educated like the ones who are in the university, once you clear the university, what happens? You can stand on your own out there. Then you give us space to bring the others up.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Education, as you said, the education is the best gift you can give to your kids.
True. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and thank you for doing that for them.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the cases that we've seen here, I know most of our viewers, and I personally would want to know what are the steps, or is it possible for someone to adapt a child from here, and what are the steps they can take to take up a child for adoption or to foster a child?
There's something we are doing here. We used to allow fostering in the home. Fostering is good, but one time we gave up our child for fostering, and the lady who took up this girl was not genuine. She wanted a house girl, but she told us she wanted to foster a child. So fostering means you take up a child to your house for 1 year, you renew, but you can only renew your fostering for 3 years only. Then that's over. And a child you have ever fostered, you cannot adopt. But for adoption, we have got the legal government adoption agencies. Because you know we're living in Kenya, whereby if children's homes are allowed to carry out adoption processes, wataanza kuuza watoto wakisema ni adoption. So the government has got legal structures. We've got the legal adoption agencies. You go to the adoption agencies, you give them your photo. If it is a couple, you give them your photo. There's a process that goes on. When we have these children here, we have a process in the law courts whereby after wazazi wametafutwa hawapatikani, the magistrate declares that this child is free for adoption. Once a child is declared free for adoption, the adoption agencies are the ones that go looking for a child that looks like you. So the first step in adoption is matching. They come to Makimei, they go to other children's home looking for a child who looks like Helen, for instance, or your spouse. Why do they match? Because we want to shield all our children against stigmatization. Ukipata mtoto mwenye anakaa wewe, chances are very minimal of people telling this child ulinunuliwa. But if you get a child that doesn't look like you are right-skinned, you get a very dark-skinned child, chances are that people will automatically tell this child even before you tell them. So there's a matching. Ukimachiwa, you start the process of bonding. If you bond with a child, you now start the legal process of adoption. It's possible, it's doable. The only prayer we are making to our government is, because adoption process in Kenya is a bit strict, if it can be eased a bit. Because again, we have got several children who have been adopted from here, but the process takes up to 2 years, and some parents give up along the way. If the period of time is maybe 1 year, 1.5 years, most parents will go for adoption. We've got 3 ways or 4 ways of exit. You can exit the home through reintegration. When your parents or your relatives are found, you are taken back to your relatives. After the government, through the probation officers, the social workers, understand that when you are taken back there, it's fit for you to survive. Exit number 2 is when you go through the adoption process. Exit number 3 is when you grow up. Like in our case, if you grow up, personally, I'm supposed to have exited this home long time. Because once you clear with education, we only give you a grace period of 6 months. Ukipata kamshahara, you save. 6th month, you exit, you go start staying on your own. The last one, which is very painful, is the one we talked about, when somebody is deceased.
So So if someone would be willing to adopt a child, they can.
They
It is
can,
possible.
it's doable, but it's important to let our viewers know it's possible when you follow the legal procedure. If you don't follow the legal procedure, you'll get the consequences. You've heard of cases whereby people are almost completing the process of adoption, but parents wameapia, wengine unasikia mtoto aliibiwa akawa adopted. Instead of all this pain, follow the legal procedure. It's beautiful, it has a happy ending, and it's beneficial to all of us.
Rachel, what
Yes,
would
please.
you tell a girl out there who's pregnant and feeling hopeless and hoping that when she gives birth atatupa huo mtoto, or anyone out there listening to you, to your voice today, and God forbid in the future they get pregnant and they had not planned for it, and the only option that comes to their head is throwing the baby away? From your experience, what would you advise them?
First and foremost, I would like every girl, every mother out there, know that it is a blessing to become a mother. Like I said earlier on, I've got so many women who cry day and night coming to us. They want us to give them children because they don't have a child of their own. So once you get pregnant, once you get expectant, it is a blessing from God for you to become a mother. And no pregnancy is a mistake. So even if you feel it's a mistake, please don't abandon. Please don't procure an abortion if it is not a matter of life and death. We've got options. Like for instance, there was a time Bagadi Hospital was offering a process whereby you would go to them and tell them that you are expectant but you don't want this child. What happens? They'll give you the due dates, you go. Once you deliver, you're not charged. You leave the baby there. They'll give you 2 weeks. You go home, think if you want your baby or not. If you don't want your baby, you go sign a consent form. You give up your baby for adoption. If you want your baby, there's a process whereby you pay the bills and you carry your baby home. This is one avenue where if you're expectant, please carry your pregnancy to term, take your baby there. Don't abandon a naked baby. All the babies you have lost in this home, Helen, is a result of being abandoned when they are naked outside there in the cold. So please don't abandon them to our government. Some other countries have got even government-owned children homes, whereby you deliver, you don't want a baby, there's a place you take that baby. Instead of losing this life in the toilets, in the latrines, these places. Please, our government, if it is possible, let these girls who get pregnancy through rape, through incest, instead of killing or abandoning these children, let's get a process whereby you can deliver and give up your baby responsibly. Give up your baby bearing in mind that life belongs to God and life is sacred.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you so much, and I know our viewers are loving you. I'm loving this
humbled.
show because you've given us a lot of insight on things that personally I did not know, and I believe someone is going to be helped out there. And I want to trust that the government is going to hear our plea and is going to look into ways they can help the children's homes and also people supporting kids that are not theirs, and make the adoption process at least ease some rules kidogo. Thank you so much, viewer, for being on this show. I'm going to let Rachel tell us how we can reach you, and if someone is willing to bring their donation or to help, to assist in any way, be it school fees or Medicare or whatever, how they can get in touch with you.
Thank you, Helen, and your team for this opportunity. I will first start by saying that we are a home. We are located in Kikuyu, a place known as Gitaru Mlango Soko, just 100 meters from Gitaru Market. And then you can reach us on the following contacts. My mobile phone number is 0720-294-207. We've got Mama Margaret's phone number is 0725-550-397. in case of any donations, I normally tell people Makime is a home, just like your home. If you use unga in your home, we use unga. It's only that we use it in larger quantities. So any donation is most welcome. And for any monetary donations, kindly send your donations to our M-Pesa Buy Goods Till number 895412. For more information, people can visit our Facebook page, Makime Children's Home. They can still visit our website, makimechildren'shome.org, and still they can make personal visits. Because I believe, Helen, before you came here, what you saw is not what you thought.
What
Seeing
I
is
saw
believing,
here,
yeah?
My
And
God, you have
you're
a big
welcome.
heart, I must say that. And today I think I'm going to start a journey, a single step. I'm
Sure.
going to look more into giving out also, because coming here I've realized how privileged maybe I've been, or my kids have been, and I would want to stretch my hand out to these kids. So thank you so
Well,
much
you're
for having
welcome.
us. Yes.
And I normally also tell, something else I also tell parents, even if not coming to donate, bring your children to see the other side of life. I have had parents who have been having difficulties in parenting, especially the 8 years up to the teenagers. And once they bring them here, we have a talk. And children come out of this place learning to appreciate the little they get, learning to appreciate the fact that they have got parents, and learning to appreciate they have got a home and they have got somebody to listen to them. So thank you so much, Helen, for hosting me. And to our viewers, thanks for watching. May God bless you. May God keep you. May we take care of life.
Amen. Amen. May we take care of life. That is what Rachel is telling us. And thank you so much for being part of this show. If you are new on this channel, kindly consider subscribing to the channel. Click on that notification bell so that you get notified anytime we upload new content. And also give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you're liking our content. And also send your feedback, your queries, your questions, your concerns through my social media handles, which are Helen_Kibali on Instagram, Helen Kibali on YouTube, and Helen Kibali on Facebook. And surely we shall answer all your questions in the next coming shows. And we hope you're getting something from our shows, especially on parenting. We've highlighted this more because we want to bring up kids who are socially aware, who are confident and socially aware of themselves and their environment. And kindly watch our shows. The links are on the description below. Watch our shows, like, comment, share to your neighbor, share to your friend, a sister, a brother, and let them know that these shows can be helpful. Until next time, we want to believe that you're blessed. God bless you. Take care of you. Bye.